Yo, what's going on, guys? Gonna be playing some Maokai in the jungle and showing you how to carry on it with the best build and runes possible. First things first, you want to get defensive saplings down in the same way a Shaco would want to, because it's common to get invaded when you play Maokai since he lacks mobility. You don't need to lay your first sapling for your first camp until the 1 minute mark. They only last for 30 seconds level 1. For your best runes possible, you're gonna want to take Phase Rush with Nimbus, Transcendence, Water Walking, alongside Cheap Shot, Treasure Hunter, double AP, and Health or Armor. For your best build possible, you want to go for Demonic into Leandries and have Maokai. At that point, you can push for Rabadon or just start to build more tanky. Later on in the game, with the more HP you get, the longer they'll last. If you put them in Rush, you generally want to start with your bot lane for best leash possible. Up against a Mordekaiser jungle, Blitzcrank support. If the enemy team has any kind of hook support or snare support, it's pretty common to get invaded by them. That's why it's super important to get out early and get your first few saplings down defensively before the 1 minute mark, because at the 1 minute mark, you need to start laying them for your first camp. I don't want to get this hooked by Blitzcrank, so I'm going to keep pulling it back. And then I'll go ahead and smite it as well. It's not worth playing that game where the enemy jungler comes in or the support comes in and steals it from you. Smites don't heal you anymore whenever you smite something, so there's really no benefit to holding on to it necessarily. Might as well get our first camp down, get level 2, take ground with both abilities instead of sitting there and slowly hacking away at the blue buff with only RE. Maokai leashless clear is about a 340. With leash, you can finish somewhere around 325 to 335, just depending on how good the leash is and how optimized your route is. Auto Q. You can't really cancel monster auto attacks right now, even if you hard CC them or become untargetable with a master EQ or Fizz Troll Pull. Monsters are bugged in that way, but in theory, in the future, you will be able to cancel their auto attacks like you've been able to do for the past 13 years of League of Legends. That'll be cool to see. If we are going to full clear, we could go for another point in Q. It's a little bit greedy because just in case we kind of want to have our W if the enemy jungler shows up, or if we want to gank, or if we lose at camp, because without W, ganking is kind of impossible on Maokai. That E was a little bit of a waste is what it is. Whenever you get hit by an ability or you get hit by a large monster, it puts your passive on a lower cooldown, which is a lot of extra healing. Bop it with our Q. Hit with the WE. I'll go ahead and save smite. It's almost dead anyways, plus I have an E on it. Your E gives you vision when you place it, and your W lets you dash to anything even if it's over a wall, so you can use your EW to go over the wall to Krugs if it's up at the time. Since we got a leash, we should be finishing before 330 instead of finishing 340 like we would be doing leashless. So we finished about 328, decent enough HP to start ganking. I don't necessarily want to try to solo their jungler per se, but I will take that from him. Maokai Q does an insane amount of damage against monsters. Level 1 or level 2, it has an extra 140 magic damage against monsters, and it gets higher per level all the way up to 200. So it starts out at like 120, goes up by 20 per level. Super high, because already good base damage plus % base damage. Might be able to get to this guy. I don't know where he went. That's kind of weird. I could flash W him. Auto attack Q. Generally, after you W, you want to move auto then Q, because you have the time for it, and you can choose which way you want to shove them with your Q if you take a little step. Otherwise, it's kind of random, and you don't really get what you want out of it. It looks like they are rotating for this. I'll go ahead and reset. Okay, he's got his smite or whatever. We'll see. I don't know why he's actually coming this deep. This is kind of dumb of him. He's got pretty much 0 kill potential on us, and he's just putting himself in harm's way by coming in this deep. We'll go ahead and look for our recall. Oh, why is he like doing that? That's so... Like I said, it's so risky. If my teammates rotate, he's guaranteed dead. Getting away from Maokai is really hard. I guess he does have boots. Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of hilarious, though. I guess we can just stand here and do this all day long. It's pretty funny, man. You don't normally see that. I'm just going to sit there and go back and forth, back and forth. All right, we'll go back, get our boots. We'll grab a Dark Seal. And we'll go ahead and get Blasting on. It's a really good back. Maokai has an insane win rate with Maokai. Currently, his best build in the game For Heart still kind of sucks, by the way. His best build in the game is to go for Demonic into Liandry's. A lot of burn damage and a bit of tankiness from the Demonic as well, which is why we're going to rush it first. I think this Blast Cone's up bot side. The Sen are really going to back there right when I go in for the gank. That's kind of upsetting. Caitlyn doesn't really have items here. Yeah, this is a waste of time. Ganking for a laner and they reset right when you're ganking. Whether she has 0 mana or not, it's a free kill. Oh well, it is what it is. We chose to go even after she finished her recall there, so whatever. Caitlyn only has a longsword, Blitzcrank Cannon back jet. They're super, super weak. Maokai's solo potential is rather low in the early game. There's not many junglers you're going to go toe-to-toe with. He's more of a full clear into gank type of jungler. Play for his huge level 6. His R moves super fast, and when it hits somebody, an enemy champion, you get a massive movement speed bonus for 2 seconds. His level 6 is really strong. He's basically a tank fiddlesticks. Big old tank boy. A bit more viable than Fiddle right now. He has more mobility, more consistent mobility. Get him with a W, auto Q. We missed the Q because he dashes back. He's getting perma-slowed. Auto attack Q. Hit him with an R, auto for the heal. I die though. I think Sion dies for this. He shouldn't have come. York has his maiden out, so they're all going to get thrashed there. That was a 1 for 3. Pretty solid all in all. Let's go ahead and keep going for Demonic. The reason why you don't go Liandry's first item is Demonic makes you tanky and Liandry's doesn't. Plus, you don't really need the mana from Liandry's because whenever you're in the jungle or river area, from your jungle item, you're getting constant mana back. So there's no point to really rushing Liandry's first when we could go for a Demonic. It's only 5 less AP. Demonic isn't viable on ranged champs right now. The burn is too heavily nerfed for them, to where you only see champions like Maokai, Mordekaiser, Singed going Demonic. You no longer really see it on Teemo or even Malzahar, Karthus for that matter. It's a lot less common on them these days. I don't know what Zed thinks he's doing, man. Guess he thinks he's gonna get a kill. I'm gonna queue him towards my teammates, hold my W for a gap closer, just like so. My E slows him. Gonna push him towards my teammates. Down he goes. Or you might be able to get him from there. Nah, not quite. That's fine. That was really solid. Once you're on top of them with Maokai, as long as you position with your Q, it's a little Alistar headbutt. It's hard for them to get away. It's super low cooldown, big knock, big slow. Your E's a slow, your W's a root and gap closer. Very challenging to get away from. It's why Maokai is currently a top 10 jungler based on win rate and pick rate. And pretty much every elo. Low elo, mid elo, high elo, he's pretty dang strong. Just stay away from his weaknesses, which is trying to straight up solo enemy champions, particularly in the early game. It's a bad idea. Full clear gank. And if you have a free gank once you're level 4 and up, you don't have to full clear, you can just go for it. Typically full clear ganking is the way to go. I could go bot here. I already have my 6 plus Dark Sill. W auto Q. Since my R's up. Ooh, why is Zed even over here though? We'll go ahead and smite him and run away. I don't know why he keeps coming bot side. It's kind of weird. Like he's just wasting his time. Seems like the enemies really want to kill me for whatever reason. Just permanently coming to my jungle. I wanted to kill bot. He's blocking me off. So instead, we will go for this instead. Just finish our full clear, I guess. I'm not about to fight a Zed solo on Maokai. Got a bit of health back from passive. Got to get in range to W this guy. Get a W auto attack QR. He's got nowhere to go. Down he goes. All right, he gets it. He should really stay for this. And my goal isn't to take any of these last hits. The goal is to just get the wave shove. So it forces Zed back here. Plus, me and Cass both get the XP, and Cass gets all the gold. Now Zed can't really roam. He'll be missing minions. Cass gets a really big back. I'm going to go ahead and flash away. Knock him away. Bro, I can't move. Yeah, he did end up getting us. He used his ghost. He got my flash. That's a good trade for him, though. Ghost is a shorter cooldown than flash. I probably should have just let him get on top of the Cass. Cass might have been able to kite him out. Cass ends up dying, but trades off with the Zed. Cass had to back anyways, though, and Zed didn't, so that trade's good. Plus, Cass getting 300 gold is basically counts for more than Zed getting 300 gold. It's a quality trade right there. I should have Oracle Lens, by the way. I don't know. I still have Warding Totem. Warding Totem's kind of useless as a jungler past level 1 for warding your jungle from invades. It's actually shocking how often you get invaded when you play Maokai jungle by the enemy's level 1, even though you have your saplings to deter that type of thing. Oh, my bot lane's too low, man. She's almost dead and my support just died. Me and Cass can 2v3 it though. None of them are full items, it's just these partials. We'll get an E and brush for vision and cut off potential with a W, 3-man Q, 2-man R. And now they all die for that, so I hope it was worth it to them getting that plate. Your Q hits literally everything that's around you in a circle. We get the attachment, the smite, down he goes. It's a rough play for the Zed. Yeah, everything around you in the circle plus the tip does damage. The circle's the knock and the tip's the slow. So everything that gets knocked though also gets slow. It's really just the tip is to add more range, but the tip itself is only a damage and a slow, not actually a knock. Toss our Ian. WQ auto. Against monsters, since it doesn't really matter which way you push them, you don't have to take a step before you do your Q. You can just Q in and W in and immediately Q. But against champions, you typically want to push them in a certain direction, either away from their turret or towards your teammates. With an AP Maokai, you normally max your E second and your W last. If you're going to be playing him full tank, you normally max W second in that case. But since we're AP, it's a Q max and an E max. We want our saplings to hit hard with our double burn items we're rushing, plus red item jungle burn as well. Sion doesn't have any real items. He has lethal tempo. That's basically just inting at that point. We get the W auto Q, push him into our teammate. We get that phase rush speed up. It's a lot like a Gragas. Gragas has a lot of CC and some burst, and then he can disengage with phase rush. Maokai's the same exact way. Oh, we hit him with the Q. I'll walk back. We can stall him out. Yeah, I think he realizes he can't get dragon now when he did that. We dodge that with our W, auto attack R them all. We're able to disengage from the Maokai and still help my teammates in the fight with our R at the same time. Maokai R is kind of cracked. Down goes Kate. Cass doesn't have Triumph. He still seems to have enough HP to make it work though. Oh, it's not worth. There's no reason to trade that gold there. Since it was a shutdown, it was kind of pointless. You could still make the argument, oh, 300 gold on Cass is worth more than 450 on Caitlyn, but it's like, you didn't need to though. He had already gotten a couple of kills. I have a feeling these guys are going to FF early. If we end up winning pre-25 minute mark, we'll go ahead and do a part 2. I will say, their team fighting, we can hit their whole melee team, all 4 of them, with our Qs, our R, the E, it's AoE. The only single target thing you have on Maokai is your passive and W. At this point, I'll push Mesh into against their team. I'd say Swifties. Could even push Stork Shoes, honestly. Sorcus are kind of greedy. Yeah, I guess I'll go with these. So I want to be able to stay alive. Swifties are Maokai's highest win rate boot because they're inexpensive. He has a general lack of mobility. He has a speed up on his R and a dash on his W. That's about it. So having Swifties helps him stay alive. Plus they're cheap as heck. He's a very angular type of champion as well. So being able to move faster helps him find angles with his R and with his Q. For those of you who haven't played him in a long time, his R was buffed a long time ago. So it's really fast. They can't really outrun it. You do still want to find a good angle to begin with on it though. This is a weird fight. I didn't want to R there because they're kind of close to their turret and one of our teammates had already died to where it didn't make a lot of sense. Go ahead and pop R for that. Get down the E. W on to Caitlyn, auto attack Q. We'll go ahead and pop him with our Q. I still had my flash, so even if he R'd me, it would have been whatever. I'm gonna gap close away from him. Blitzcrank hard, missed that hook. The Mort's pretty fed, not gonna lie. Like in terms of how strong he is, I don't know if we can really fight him right now. York's basically gonna end the game though if they don't reset, which is kind of funny. Sapling's gonna slow him down. Mort is really slow though. That's what keeps him balanced. Is kiting him out is super straightforward. Mord's only speed up in his kit is when his passive pops, and it's a relatively small speed up. It's 3 or 4%, if I remember correctly. You don't typically farm out the enemy's jungle. It's just since we're ahead and we know they're not going to be here, it's safe to do. Generally, especially pre-6, you're not going to find yourself inside of their jungle fighting them or stealing their camps. Because Maokai's clear speed isn't that fast, and his solo potential is low pre-6. Once he's 6, you can really tear up squishies like Evelyn solo. Non-self-healing squishies. So things that can self-heal like a Viego, Master Yi. You still can't really deal with them in level 6 solo, but just play for the team fights and whatnot. Hey, Caitlyn. Does my R hit? Oh, it does hit, but I get hooked. And I died. Blitzcrank hook. I needed to auto something or W to a minion. I tunneled super hard on the Caitlyn there. At least we got some mesh off of it, even though we lost 10 to get that. Blitzcrank wants to tickle my pickle and lickle my dickle instead of saving his base. Looks like he's going to lose turret now. It's already super low from the supers. Sion going lethal temple. I don't think that's viable. I don't think Sion has a way of getting outside of the York cage either. He gets stuck inside. You can't R through it. I think I would cancel his R. At this point, third item, it's completely situational. You don't have to keep building AP at this point. In fact, it's usually better to start building tank. Now, if you do have a full stack Medj or Dark Sill, then you can consider Rabadon at this point. But typically, you would end up pushing for Randuins against double crit. You go Vistage against AP heavy. You could go Force of Nature. I'm not necessarily a big fan of Warmogs necessarily. I think Warmogs is kind of poop right now. It's one of the worst tank items in the game for most tanky junglers. I need to get some saplings in the brush, stop them from pushing out for Dragon. Yeah, look at that bad boy, it stings. Hey friend, W, block it off. Hey friend, you're dead. Okay, come on. Don't run from me like that. Swifty speed plus the mesh speed, we're able to run him down. We could at least get mid inhib off that. For sure. W auto Q, down he goes. And after you land your W, you want to take a little step. Just a little tiny one to make sure you're pushing them where you want them to go. Because if you don't, oftentimes your Q doesn't spray them where you want them to go. Caitlyn's being hecka greedy. I got my E down. Pop. Look at that damage, dude. It's like half of Kate's health and a big chunk of Scion's. Yeah, have fun with that Scion. We could knock him away with 1 Q. I mean, even Mort's kind of getting chunked by it. I'm going to W onto the Caitlyn here in a second. Never mind. I'm getting shredded. Sick. She was doing some big boy damage. 2 full item and a half, not including boots. That fight did not go the way I wanted it to. Mord with Jack show is super hard to kill unless you kite him out properly. I think he ended up getting Cass in his R there and killing him. York gets the Baron. Game's rounding out nicely. York's focusing on objectives while me and my teammates kind of goof around and play for kills. Zed's moving 390. You're dead. Nice try, dude. That's kind of funny. Blue jungle items tempting on Maokai. Ultimately, the red one's best if you're going to play him AP. If you want to play him full tank frontline, then you should go for the green one for tenacity. That way you don't get CC'd too much. I'm playing more of a hit and run Maokai, similar to a AP Shaco jungle, except we're a lot tankier. We have a lot more CC. We have a lot more self-healing. We arguably have more mobility as well. What the heck did Zed just put in chat? What in the world, dude? Imagine having a mouse macro for that. My word. Toss out an angular R. It wasn't enough though. W auto attack Q smite. Oh, I'm in trouble. Knock them both that way. That's the power of angles, baby. Yeah, go sit over there, bud. I'll attack Q. They're actually both gonna die to me. Hey! Oh, that's the power of AP Maokai, baby. The Demon gives you just enough HP. Yeah, Maokai's pretty overloaded right now. It's gross. The damage output, the slipperiness, the CC. Auto attack Q, we push him off immediately when he comes out. Oh my gosh. The speed increase, then the untargetable, yeah. It's true. He's a decent counter to really every champ in the game. There's only 1 or 2 junglers who technically have a positive win rate against Maokai jungle, and I forget who they are. Maokai's spread right now is pretty gross. Yo, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to part 2. Once again, we need to set up some defensive saplings because people love to invade Maokai. Plus, they have a hook support. They very well might invade here with the Thresh Jhin. They have a really strong level 1, including the Rumble. Rumble's really tough to deal with. Rumble jungle, I think, is hidden OP. He does kind of struggle in terms of just being squishy and whatnot, but outside of that, he's really, really strong. Huge power spike on his 6. He can clear his camps just fine because he has the bonus damage. In the same way that Maokai does. Maokai has huge bonus damage on his Q. I think Rumble has it on his passive. It's been nerfed down a little bit. So what we're going to do is smite it immediately because our saplings only last 30 seconds. We laid it about 101. So we need to get sapling in range immediately. So by smiting it over, it's going to help it to come to us. Now, if you lay it kind of 103, 104, you'll have time to drag it. But like red buff autos have a lot of range. So it's just one of those things. I'm going to smite it over immediately. To pull it over, that way we can get our little guys to blow up on it. One of the downsides to smiting so early is your teammates will oftentimes underleash you a little bit. I would rather them underleash than not get off the initial sapling though. We got our Q now. We're gonna walk up. Auto attack Q. Once again, you can't actually cancel monster auto attacks because they break the rules of physics, even though you could cancel them for literally 12 years of League of Legends. But I mean, it is what it is. Monsters in season 13 are interesting to say the least. I think they'll undo that because it's super awkward feeling for anyone who's played jungle before. Go ahead and toss this in brush, pull it on over. Get a big fat stack on everything except for the raptor off to the side, but we got the big raptor off of that as well. Auto attack, leave my Ian. This should finish it off. Boom. Nice. Go ahead and get a point in our W. I would like to run double points in Q for the faster clear. It's not worth it though, because if we get invaded or if we end up losing a camp, we won't be able to gank. The reason you don't gank level 3 is Maokai doesn't have much mobility, and a lot of the times there's nothing really set up for you, to where all you'll get is a flash and then you'll leave yourself vulnerable to the enemy jungler kind of messing with you. I'll use this brush right here. They really don't let you pull the blue buff out at all because they don't want Fiddlesticks to dual take camps or Zac, Hecarim, anything that would, or even Evelyn in that case. I almost forgot about that. It's been so long, man. To dual take camps is Eve. Top lane's very gankable. Udyr is strong right now. However, he's not good until he has Prowlers if he's playing AD. If he's playing AP, I guess he's good once he has tier so he can mana spam. So with leash, we'll do about a 330-ish with enough HP to do something, and then we'll rush down the scuttle right here. Yeah, I don't know why this guy thinks he can fight us. Auto attack Q. I think he loses this, honestly. He's missing so much health from that. He has no shield here. Auto attack Q. Yeah, down he goes. I should have put that in the brush. That was a huge misplay on my part. We get our W on him, bop him with Q to get him away from us. Yeah, my biggest mistake there was the sapling placement. I didn't throw it in bush, which would have made it do way more damage and also given us vision of the Udyr. So that was my bad there. My bad. Alright. I was just making sure it got pushed. I was going to catch the next wave. I don't know if I can reach the bush here. Yeah, I literally can't reach. Oh, I canceled my back. What am I doing? I didn't want to lay it on the outside of the brush. Whatever. We'll reset right here. It's going to cost us some time. We're obviously going to lose bot skill. I didn't want to rush it. I knew Rumble would be there in time. He's going to have boots advantage or dark seal, and I'm super low health. He'll be full health. We'll grab boots, dark seal ourselves, and go straight into demonic. Once again, we rush demonic over Leandri's because we don't need the mana from Leandri's early on as a jungler. It's irrelevant. Jungle plus river. Constant mana regen. You have 11 per second here. I guess we're on blue though. Yeah, demonic for the HP. Very, very strong. Into Leandri's. We'll pick up Mej. Could go Rabadon or Zhonya's at that point, or just build tank. Our team has an insane amount of damage and a really good front line with Wukong, to where I think we could get away with honestly doing either. I don't think we need to really... We're not really forced to do anything. We could build AP or tank here and get away with it. Get an E in the brush. Yeah, these guys are screwed. I kind of did take the double kill there. That's my bad. I should have tried to give Triss that, but I guess since I have Dark Seal, it's fine. Dark Seal makes it acceptable. I intentionally tried not to kill that backline one with my Q. That's why I stepped off to the side, because the circle. So at least she gets the XP. She gets the minion gold. And they'll miss a lot bot side. I'm not too worried about Rumble. If they had a stronger soloist jungler, I wouldn't have approached that bush the way I did. Oh, ho, ho. Get wrecked. I don't think he could have even killed me, to be honest. We're kind of tanky. That was hilarious, though. Seeing him run out and slam himself into the wall like that. We'll continue the full clear. Try to give kills unless you have Dark Seal. In this case, since we had Dark Seal, it made it fine. That's the only reason why it was okay to take it from AD carry. Still felt bad doing it though, because I understand the struggles. Playing an AD champion and your items are so expensive. Auto attack Q, down you go. 413 damage because the extra 160 against monsters. It starts out at 120. It goes up by 20 per level. It gets all the way up to 200 at max rank. That's why you always max Q first. The bonus damage against monsters is essential. Top lane looks gankable. Udyr, like I said, he's crap until he has a full item. Very crap. Especially 80 Udyr pre-full item is darn near useless. Let's go ahead and put this guy in the brush. There's no one in there. I'll hold on to W just in case Rumble shows up. I want to have a wave staying on him. I have my R ready. We could go top lane and kill this guy. I have a little bit of AP with the Dark Sill and Amp Tome. He probably doesn't have any magic resist either since he's up against Poop Kong. Go ahead and toss out a big R, throw an E on him. WQ. We tank that last auto. Bruh. What just happened? Did Wukong even auto him? Like, what happened? He must have flashed away, I guess. Wukong wasn't really ready for my dive, so I shouldn't have done it. Once I saw he wasn't reacting, because we landed all of our CC and he hadn't even touched him by the time our CC ended, so that sucks. We lost all of our Dark Sill off that. Definitely forced, but like I said, he should have died because that is a roughly a 2-second snare, plus so 3 seconds of snare, and then about nearly a second of knock, and then we have a slow. Like, he couldn't move. Wukong just didn't want to do it for some reason. Unfortunate. Is what it is. We're not going back top, we'll tell you that right now. He's gonna trust me even less now, and he already basically didn't trust me there. Jin gets a shutdown. Holy moly. He's missing a lot of health. I could go bot side here. Rumble's gonna go mid with how far up Anivia's pushed. Yeah, I'll head over bot side. Xerath has a control word here. I'll play around them. This Thresh isn't even positioning behind Jin to give him an escape option. Jin reacted so fast to this, honestly. Got our auto attack on him. Xerath's missing his R's, but he gets the Q. Nice. Flash W Maokai, big money moves. I don't have smite, so I'm not going to do dragon. They should just go for that instead. No smite, it's too risky. Rumble drop. Okay, Rumble just got it. Dang. We could kill him. He doesn't have items necessarily. Xerath gave it away too soon. I don't know why I did that. Is he on wolves maybe? No, he's not on wolves. He must be resetting. Oh, he's actually over here. What in the world? I mean, I get his wolves. Guess he's gonna watch me take it. How romantic. He's literally just like standing over the wall when he laid that ward. I don't want to do a dive. I don't trust my teammates at all. Not after that Poop Kong situation. I have to go back to my top side. I don't want Rumble to get all that. Go and smite that. Head on over. That was good that Wukong went and checked. Since Rumble knew I was in his jungle, there's a high chance Rumble would go into mine there. I'm ready to smash this guy. Double sapling. Auto attack, W attach into the Q. Smack him with R. I mean, we kind of pushed him out of Anivia R. It's whatever though, because we pushed him directly into her so she could land Q for free. I'm not sure where Rumble is. He seems to be doing a lot of power farming. He might be on Herald. The fact that he rushed down Dragon the way he did was kind of interesting. Don't necessarily see that out of him. It was an Ocean Dragon too, which made it exceptionally dangerous. Since Ocean Dragon slows on every single auto attack, if we showed up, he was 100% dead. We could W, walk behind him, push him into Dragon with Q. He would have been toasted and roasted. Maybe Wukong thinks I'm ganking right now because he's going all in. doesn't want to go all in when I'm there, but boy, oh boy, when I'm not there, it looks juicy. Top laners work in mysterious ways. The question is, where's... Okay, Rumble's bot side. This is probably warded. Yeah, he's running away. W, Q him into my little friends. I mean, he did some damage there. Got him with Smite. He flashes away. All right, we'll take it. Not bad. It was an okay exchange. Don't know where Auction is, so I'm going to get out of here. We'll pick up Demonic. Plus, against their team. Oh, man. It's feeling like a plated type of game. Guess this isn't bad either. It is, to be fair, it is hard to go wrong with Swifties because they're cheap. And they're fast, so we'll dodge skill shots easier. There's two thresh slows technically after the Flay plus box, Jin slow, 2 Rumble slows plus a potential Udyr slow if he has a point in his R. If you really want to, you can go for Sork Shoes on Maokai. I feel like it's kind of greedy though, because if you do end up dying and you lose all your Dark Seal and Mesh stack, then it's not worth it. As long as you stay alive and maintain the Dark Seal Mesh, then it's worth whatever boot you go to do that. And generally Swifties, Plated, or Mercs is going to achieve that for you. And it's just that Swifties is cheaper than Plated and Mercs. That's why you would normally go for it instead. Rumble's looking for the dive. Poop Kong's very low. Udyr gets jebaited. Notice how I'm pinging the enemy and not Wukong. If you ping your teammates directly, they're very, 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 very likely to mute you. Hey, friend. Got our E in the bush. Auto attack Q. I still have my W to gap close on him here. Auto attack WQ. Down he goes. Surprised Wukong went for that. It cost him an R and a flash, and I didn't really need him. I had my control ward ready to, if Rumble flashed the wall, I would have warded over and dashed to him with W. If you're already on top of somebody, and it's going to turn into you chasing them down type of situation, because we had more health, we have more items, he's not a full item. He put himself behind by soloing drag. So if you're in a situation where you know they're going to try to run and you're already on top of them, don't waste your W. Just hold it until you can no longer reach them with your autos or your Q. Now, if Wukong was full HP, and I wanted him to collapse, and sure, I would W into him, push him into Wukong immediately. But I didn't want Wukong to come. Yeah, I didn't want him to because he was so low on health. I could have just done it solo, guaranteed, even if Rumble flashed. What's going on over here? Rumble's on Demonic as well. Is this warded? We get the W, auto, into Q, push him into the bush. There's somebody over here, though. Phase Rush gets us out of that fight so fast, it's crazy. Is Jin not paying attention? Oh, hey, friend, you're dead. Hey, friend, you're dead. Auto attack Q. E over in the bush. I think he's going to be able to outrun that, but I should be able to flash W him here. Boom! Auto attack EQ. Down he goes. Bro, you can't outplay Maokai. Hit him with the snare. Oh, come on, baby. Yeah, we're fine. We're chilling. They don't have the damage. I need to lay my Herald. I'm literally not going to be able to lay it. Holy crap, it wouldn't let me lay. It literally wouldn't let me lay it because I was in combat. Technically, my item was still burning him. It was down to the last 10th of a second there, man. Literally like less than half a second left. My teammates, like, people don't understand. If they don't play jungle, they don't understand you can't lay Herald if you're technically in combat with champs. So they're probably spam pinging me like, why aren't you laying it, bro? Put it down. Oh, man. Maokai's cracked, dude. This champ's so broken. The damage CC, the AoE, mobility in fights. He's nutty. Let's look at damage dealt, damage taken. Looking at damage dealt to enemy champions, we had one of the highest in the game. Looking at damage taken, we were the highest in the game. That's the crazy thing. You can take the most damage when you're not even necessarily building tank. And for runes, lots of value. If you guys enjoyed this Maokai jungle video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. My name is Kingsticks. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.